Hello, good day. We will be discussing the topic on conceptual framework and accounting standards, particularly on PAS 16, property, plant, and equipment. Okay, so at the end of the discussion on PAS 16, we will be able to state the recognition criteria, initial measurement, and the subsequent measurement of PPE or the property, plant, and equipment. We look at the basic computations of the cost, depreciation, the carrying amount, and the revaluation surplus, as well as any effect on the disposal manifested by the gain or the loss on its disposal. So basically, the property, plant, and equipment na nami-meet natin along our accounting subjects would be discussed on the conceptual framework accounting standard PAS number 16. How do we classify? How do we treat this particular account? Um, how do we look at the depreciation and the carrying amount? Paano ito nakikita sa financial statements? When we say, I am asking for the cost, I am asking for the depreciation, how do we compute for that based on the several depreciation methods? So before we look at the computational part, we have to distinguish first um, the classifications or the characteristics of property, plant, and equipment. One is that it is tangible, meaning you can see, you can touch, or you can feel using your using your senses. This particular type of assets. These items of PPE have physical substance. You can touch these particular items of PPE, just like the building, just like land, just like chairs, computers, laptops, etc. These are tangible assets. In contrast to intangible assets, wherein there is no physical substance. Letter B is that it is used in normal operations. When we say normal operations, it is on a day-to-day basis, or it is necessary to be used in the normal operations of the business. When we say how do we classify the normality of the operations, it means you are using the particular item of PPE so as to produce goods, to supply goods, to provide service for rents or for administrative purposes, because these are all essentials in the operations of a business. How can a business um, operate without producing goods or rendering services? Or how can a particular office work if there is no particular item of property, plant, and equipment? So letter B, it is used in the normal operations of the business. And the last, it is long-term in nature. When we say long-term, meaning it is more than one accounting period. In practice, it means it is more than one fiscal or calendar year, more than a year, so as to classify it as a PPEs. Kasi if this particular item, although it is a tangible asset, it is used in the normal operations, but it is not long-term in nature, hence, you cannot classify it as a PPE. Okay? So by looking at that, how do we look at the items or examples of PPE? A, the land use in the business. How can you set up a particular business without a land, without building, erecting on a land? Land held for a future plant site. Nakabili ka or naka-acquire ka na ng land, but wala pa siyang improvement. But there is a plan for that particular land to be converted as a plant site, or a factory site or a production site in the future. Therefore, you have to classify it as a PPE. Because one, it is tangible. Number two, it is can be used in the normal operations of the business. And number three, it is long-term in nature. Building used in the business, equipment used in the production of goods, equipment held for environmental and safety reasons, equipment held for rentals, major spare parts and long-lived and standby equipment, furniture and fixture, and bearer plants. Okay? Yung items A to H are somehow familiar to all of us, but item E, the bearer plants, these are classified under the biological assets. These are actually biological assets, but they are classified as items of property, plant, and equipment. We will discuss further yung bearer plants. Ibig sabihin kasi nitong bearer plants na to, these are biological assets, mga trees, for example, mango trees that are booked as part of the property, plant, and equipment kasi meron siyang, they are fruit-bearing. Okay, just like in CLSU, we have mango trees. So those are bearer plants. The trees are bearer plants of the mango fruits. Hence, we are classifying it under the items of property, plant, and equipment. Okay, how do we recognize the cost of an item of property, plant, and equipment? Okay, A, it is probable that the future economic benefits associated with the item will flow to the entity, and B, the cost of the item can be measured reliably. So by looking at that, on the definition of an asset, there should be a benefit, and number two, there should be a reliable measurement of that particular asset. Kasi you cannot classify that as an asset if there is no probable future economic benefits. For example, the land or the building, what are the probable economic benefits associated with this? The building, what are the economic benefits of on erecting a particular building? The benefits would be paano ka magkakaroon ng finished products, or how can you render your services without a building, without a facility? Okay, for example, furniture and fixtures. How can you accommodate your customers without investing on furniture and fixtures as a service equipment? And of course, the cost should be measured reliably. Because if you cannot measure the cost of these particular items, hindi mo makita yung price nito in the market, hindi mo makita, hindi mo ma-identify how much is the cost of these items per suppliers, invoices, and official receipts, then you cannot recognize that particular PPE. But that's very rare because kung mag-acquire ka ng PPE, ng furniture, fixture, laptop, computer, we establish as accountants that there is appropriate documentation in the form of invoices or receipts. Okay, so on our learning objective, we are trying to identify how do we account for the item of PPE initially and subsequently. An item of PPE is initially measured at its cost, meaning kung magkano mo ito binili at historical cost, doon mo siya ipupo. Okay? But the question now is, alam natin yun, but how is this cost computed? These are the elements. The purchase price, the cost directly attributable, or any present value of the commissioning and restoration costs. The purchase price, including any non-refundable purchase taxes after deducting trade discounts and rebates. What does it mean? Kung binili ko siya, magkano siya kinote sa akin ng supplier? That's the purchase price. Kung meron siyang discount or rebates, ibawas siya. Kung meron siyang non-refundable purchase taxes, hindi mo na siya pwedeng i-refund. Therefore, isama mo siya dun sa cost ng item of PPE na yon. Number two, the costs directly attributable to bringing the asset to the location and the condition necessary for it to be capable of operating in the manner intended by the management. For example, what are the costs that we need to bring the asset to its intended location? For example, the transportation costs related to the asset. para maidala mo siya dun sa particular intended location where the item of PPE will be used, or the commissions of the broker na nag-facilitate nitong pagbili. Okay, that is part of the particular cost directly attributable to bringing the asset to the location or to the condition. Number 3 is the present value of the commissioning and the restoration cost to the extent that they are recognized as an obligation. Because sometimes there are property, plant, and equipment that needs restoration cost. So kung merong particular item na kailangan ng restoration and decommissioning, we have to recognize or include that as part of the asset. I-restore mo yung particular type of asset. Pwede bang i-direct to expense mo yun? Hindi. Because that is part of, that will increase the value or the life of the asset. So therefore, it is but proper to include that on the value of your property, plant, and equipment. So these are the examples of directly attributable costs. Cost of employee benefits arising directly from the construction or acquisition of PPE, the cost of the site preparation, the initial delivery and handling cost, of freight costs, installation and assembly costs, the testing costs, gross of the disposal proceeds of samples generated during testing, professional fees, and among others. Cessation of capitalizing cost to the PPE. The recognition of cost in the carrying amount of an item of PPE ceases when the item is in the location and condition necessary for it to be capable of operating in the manner intended by the management. Ano ibig sabihin when we say cessation? When we say cessation, ibig sabihin you stop. You stop capitalizing cost to PPE. Ano ibig sabihin nun? There are costs kasi na nai-incur while the property, plant, and equipment is on its location. But the question is, kailan natin ma-identify na this cost should not be included on or capitalized on the cost of the asset? Hindi po pwedeng lahat na lang ng cost na related dun sa particular PPE ay isasama natin ng isasama because the tendency is lalaki ng lalaki yung cost ng PPE na yan. Okay? That will have an effect on your depreciation also. So what is the rule or the guidance of PAS 16? The PAS 16 is saying that we should cease recognizing or capitalizing cost to the item of PPE when the PPE is already in the location and the condition necessary for it to be capable of operating in the manner intended by the management. Kung andun na siya sa location at it can be used on the condition na ni-require natin sa kanya, therefore is we have to stop the capitalization of the cost of the PPE. Sir, paano na po ang gagawin? You have to recognize that as an expense. Okay? Measurement of the cost of an item of PPE is the cash price equivalent at the recognition date. Ibig sabihin, kung magkano mo siya binayaran, yun ang kanyang cost. If the payment is deferred beyond the normal credit terms, the difference between the cash price and the total payment is recognized as an interest over the period of credit unless the interest such interest is capitalized in accordance with PAS 23 borrowing costs. Okay? PAS 23 borrowing costs will be discussed on the later portion. So, anong sinasabi lang natin dito? The cost of the item should be the cash price equivalent, kung magkano siya binayaran, at if ever na merong defer or utang, merong normal credit terms, yung difference between the cash price equivalent and the total payment is recognized as an interest. Unless that interest should be capitalized or dapat siyang idagdag doon sa presyo o doon sa value ng PPE, we have to look at the guidance of PAS 23 borrowing cost. Kasi may mga conditions before you can capitalize that particular interest. Okay, So normally we get the property, plant, and equipment by purchase. But how? By purchase or by credit. But how would be the case if there is an acquisition through exchange? Okay? Ibig sabihin, may pagpalit. Okay? Nagkaroon ng palitan. So how do we treat that? If the exchange is commercial substance, the asset received from the exchange is measured using the following order of priority. A, the fair value of asset given up. B, fair value of asset received. C, the carrying amount of asset given up. Sir, what does it mean when we say acquisition through exchange? Ang ibig sabihin po nito ay there is asset number 1 and there is asset number 2. And you will exchange these particular assets. No? Bakit nagkakaroon ng exchanges of assets? Because sometimes, makakakita ka ng asset on a particular entity o kaya sa subsidiary mo o kaya sa branch or home office transactions. Pwede namin magamit yung asset mo pero ito hindi kasi masyado siyang nagagamit on our office, so we just have to exchange. So how do we treat the acquisition through the exchanges of assets or PPE? Ang sabi sa guidance underpass number 16 is you have to recognize if the exchange is commercial substance, the asset received, halimbawa ikaw yung company, the asset na na-receive mo from the exchange is measured using the following order of priority. Number 1, the fair value of the asset given up. Kung magkano yung give up mo na asset na PPE, yun ang i-book mo na value ng asset na tinanggap mo. Okay? Paano kapag hindi given or hindi natin identify, hindi natin malaman kung magkano ang fair value noon? You look at number 2. This is a order of priority. Fair value of the asset received. Kung magkano yung value ng asset na natanggap mo, doon mo na lang siya i-book. Or yun yung cost na ilalagay mo sa kanya sa iyong journal entry or sa iyong financial statement. Kung wala pa din, sir, the fair value of the asset given up and the fair value of the asset received cannot be determined based on the circumstances. Then, you have to look at the carrying amount of the asset given up. Siguro naman meron na ito kasi ikaw ang bumili nito historically. So, you have to identify the carrying amount of that particular asset. Okay? If the exchange lacks commercial substance, sir, paano ba namin malalaman whether there is commercial or there is no commercial substance? Well, theoretically, makikita mo po yan sa problem. Sasabihin doon whether this particular computation or this particular circumstance or scenario has commercial substance or it lacks commercial substance. But practically, ano bang ibig sabihin nito? Ibig sabihin lang po nito ay material ba yung pagpapalitan kasi yun ibig sabihin ng commercial and lacks commercial substance kasi kung hindi naman material yung commercial substance nito, hindi naman ganon kalaki ang amount or it will not affect the decision of the company regarding the concept of the amount, ito ay connected sa materiality, therefore o pwede mo siyang ma-identify whether it has commercial or it lacks commercial substance. So the asset, if there is no or it lacks the commercial substance, the asset received from the exchange is measured at C above. Ano yung C? It's the carrying amount of the asset given up. So mas madali siya. Kung magkano mo binitawan yung asset na yun, ganun mo na lang din i-book yung particular asset. Okay? Na tinanggap mo. That is, how about on subsequent measurement? The subsequent to initial recognition, di ba sabi, initially, you have to recognize it at cost. But subsequently, the entity shall choose either through the cost or the revaluation model as its accounting policy and shall apply that policy to an entire class of PPE. Okay, so I think I have to end the discussion at this point. Subsequent measurement, we have to choose cost or evaluation model. I will be discussing that on the next part of this lecture video. Thank you.